Parents and gymnasts, are you ready to take the next step in your college recruiting journey? Full Out Collegiate Recruiting's in-gym visit program brings personalized recruiting guidance directly to you. Expert advice for gymnasts, parents, and coaches, all in the comfort of your own gym. Start the journey to collegiate gymnastics today. Visit fulloutrecruit.com to schedule an in-gym visit and take the first step toward making that college dream a reality.
We had a tiger in a Superman shirt. Aliens with chains. One hometown for everyone on the team. Quad meet with one team. Freshman debuts. And a blind endo to Jaeger that we need to talk about. It's week 1. Let's go.
We are. Yeah, I said we are. This is R5 Nation. Pledge your allegiance. Get your Leo on. All sparkles everything. Hair ties, makeup, all sparkles everything. And these girls are R5 alumni riding with their new teams. I get more in depth in the podcast, so if you really are real enough, listen up. This is La Familia. I'll explain later. But now back to the podcast. Let's turn it up. Here comes a new season. Throw your hands up, head back. R5 Nation. Here we go. Let's get it started.
Welcome back to the only podcast with a gymnastics-inspired rap. Every week, the College Salute Podcast, the place you go for all you need to know about how our Region 5 alums are doing during their NCAA careers. You know Kim, and of course I'm Jason, and it's back. College gymnastics, every weekend for us to enjoy, and week 1 didn't disappoint. We saw 8 freshmen debut routines in week 1, and 1 debuted in the all-around. Helen Hu made front aerials look as easy as forward rolls. Missouri is going to be what we thought they would be. They did that? Yes. Western Michigan alum with a beam routine and a Towson athlete with a bar combo that needs attention. Our Region 5 University lineup started a bit slow. And Kim, it's week 1. And of course, we have camera angle issues.
We do.
I know. Deep sigh. Deep sigh. We'll get into it. But you know, a free way to support our show is by leaving a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to the College Salute Podcast. Tell us what you love about the show or what you'd like to see improved. The review helps others discover our podcast and join our Region 5 family. Help us continue to grow our podcast, which is the only regionally based gymnastics podcast in the country. We continue to show our love for our Region 5 alums throughout their college careers, so please show us some love with a review and a 5-star rating. All right, so we're going to move into the content of our podcast, and of course, as we mentioned, we have split into our content into basically 3 major sections, one of which is still our Fab 5, and the Fab 5 is, for the most part, going to deal with our Region 5 alums. And then we'll have, yes, they did that, or whatever we call it. We'll get to that in the end. They did that, I believe it's called. We had 7, Kim, Region 5, 9 9s in week 1. That was kind of a hard to come by because I don't know if you noticed, but the scores, for the most part, were not very high.
No, they weren't.
No, they were a lot of 9 7s. You saw 9 5s. I mean, we saw some lower scores than we normally do. And I know there's a whole judging thing, and we're going to get into that a little bit later in the year once it kind of all matriculates. We'll talk about the new judging thing that's happening. But anyway, Emily Krajak, 9 9 on beam, beautiful balance beam routine for Western Michigan. Aerial layout step out that was so solid. It was gorgeous. Beautiful.
I'm glad to see her in that beam lineup in week 1, especially because last year we saw her like in one meet get a 9-9 and then we never saw her again, it seemed like. So I'm glad that she's able to go out first week, throw a 9-9 out and hit that routine. So hopefully we'll see her more consistently in the beam lineup because her routine is gorgeous.
It is, absolutely. Nikki Smith didn't waste any time. First vault out of the year, first competition event, 9.95, stuck 1.5. Absolutely beautiful.
She didn't waste a moment. And that vault was better than it was last year, I think. She's higher, she's tighter. Landing, it was very controlled. So I just think Nikki's going to go up from there. Like, let's, are we going to, how many 10s are you going to get Nikki this season? Because that vault is just stellar.
Exactly. And of course, in the all around in her sophomore season. Sage Kellerman followed Nikki. I don't know, right after her, I think it was, though, 9.925 with an absolutely gorgeous front pipe.
And again, that vault with her also looks like it's higher, tighter, more shaped. Landing is as beautiful as it always is, but that vault just looks even better than it did again last year. I don't know. Michigan State they're so good. They've improved where they didn't really need to improve, but they've improved.
Yes, and they look very sharp out of the block to start the season. Very impressed with how they did. Very impressed with how they looked. Pretty much from event to event, routine to a routine. They did very well overall. Katie Harper from NC State, 9.9 on bars. This is her specialty. She's awesome on bars. Nice clear hip ginger, double layout stuck. It's her sophomore year. She does beam as well. She's just very comfortable, and she looks like she's now. Last year we saw her live at the regional meet. It's not like she didn't look uncomfortable, but she just looks like she owns her gymnastics now. Well,
she's always been a bar worker ever since she was a little kid in level 10. And, you just sometimes have to settle into that college gymnastics and that role and get used to, yourself and different atmosphere, body, everything. And she looks great. I think it's going to be a great season for her in her sophomore year.
Exactly. And she's the anchor on bars, which is really cool for her.
As she should be.
As she should be. Exactly. And then, of course, Faith Torres, 3.99s, one on vault, bars, and beam. I think she had a 9.875 on floor. Faith doing Faith things. We didn't see any of this video. This meet was not televised or streamed. And so I didn't necessarily go back and check it out. We'll obviously have more of Faith as the year goes on. But, of course, 3.99s for Faith to start the season. And so pretty good, especially from a weekend of not extremely high scores for even the top teams. The athletes who get the 9.9s for the most part got the 9.9s.
And these athletes are doing amazing the first week out of the gate, especially because, like we mentioned in the live show, they're starting a week early. So, they're just starting a little earlier than they normally do, and they're not even back in classes yet. So it was actually a good idea to start a little earlier maybe, but they're big gymnastics to come.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the segue, because you talked about our live show, and we'll talk a little bit more about it, and we're hoping we can get some feedback on it to kind of get, we liked I think it's cool. I think it'd be fun. We just got to get some more, feedback and figure out how we're going to go with it. However, I did get some feedback from Western Michigan after our live. A couple hours after the live, I get a phone call from their assistant coach, Don, and Don says, "Hey, Jason, yes, so," and then he puts me on, I think he put me on speaker, and he says, "Yeah, you said Sarah Moravansky is old." Yes, I did. I can't get away from that one. Caught red-handed there. She was wearing a back brace, so we just kind of said that she's a fifth year, one of those things. But I'm going to say, I told her, I said, in my final year of gymnastics, I spent majority of my time in the ice bath. So this is why I don't really like cold situations, I think, because I just got to, I have trauma from being in the ice bath all my last year of gymnastics. And so, yes, so they put me on speaker, and
let's be real, they put you on blast on the entire bus.
They did put me on blast, and it was hysterical, but I owned it. I mean, I did say it, but she looked really good. I mean, she does look good. I mean, it's one of those things where she's battling some back issues and trying to finish off her career, her fifth year, as strong as she can for Western Michigan. But I love Sarah's gymnastics. I love watching Sarah's gymnastics. I have ever since she came to Western, and continue to enjoy it this year. So I apologize for saying you were old, but I think you understand the situation. But still doing an awesome job. But I just thought that was hilarious that they gave me a call to blast me an hour after the show. But it's good that people were watching, yeah. So that was fun.
Well, hey, at least I just said she needed the back brace to stay warm. You went a different direction.
I went a little different direction. But like I said, I apologize. I continue watching, continue doing what you're doing, and we only hope for great success from Sarah over the course of the 2025 season. Reilan Garvey, also from Western Michigan, all around first meet of her career in the all-around. She looked, for a first gymnast out, I mean, there's always things, but for the first time out there, all around, she looked great.
I couldn't agree more. I think
awesome.
She looks amazing, and she's going to be one of those ones she is one of the ones to watch in the MAC conference from Western, but she definitely is going to be one that you don't want to miss at a meet. Going out all around first week of the season, she looks stellar. I think she's going to be like the next big one at Western.
Yes, and she does her Tkachev. We mentioned it on the live show. I talked a little bit about it in the preview. She's the Tkachev now on bars, which is a good addition to that bar routine. No pressure. Obviously, the loss of Peyton Murphy is a big loss because it's 4 events that could be 9-9 potential on pretty much all 4 of them. And so, that's a big loss. And I'm not saying that Reilan needs to jump in and do that, but it looks like that's kind of, they're working towards that because she could, down the road, maybe be that type of athlete. She's very strong. And it's awesome to see that she, in the all-around first meet
Absolutely.
Well, we've already talked about Nikki, but I know you want to.
Well, yeah, because
talk more.
I do. I love talking about Nikki because, as we mentioned during that live show, Nikki Smith is just Nikki Smithing, and yes, we are now using that as a verb, an adjective, whatever it is, to describe many things. So, Nikki Smith, just keep Nikki Smithing all over the arena because this is your year, girl, and you look amazing. Just saying.
I still want a double layout. I keep saying, where's the double layout? Because the double layout's beautiful, but maybe the full in is just easier on the ankles to land.
Probably.
Numbers, who knows? But the full in's great. We'll take it. But her double layouts are gorgeous.
But I do want to mention bars for Nikki. Girl, those bars are so good. I remember back in the day when the knees couldn't be straight and you struggled with that a little bit as a kid, but definitely you are coming along. Like, bars is gorgeous. You are a bar worker for sure. And I love your old school level 7 beam mount.
Yes. Nikki's a threat in the all around when it comes to Big Tens for sure. I mean, she definitely has the package on all. She
absolutely.
This vault stood out to me. That's for sure.
I think it stood out to everyone because Cassie's vault, her cause is exquisite. It's always been exquisite. But what really stood out to everybody is the stuck landing and her facial expressions with the celebration. Way to start a week 1 with a huge stuck vault. Way to go. I loved it.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. Definitely awesome. Not a lot of people are doing that vault, which is obviously the cause half, because the cause is a full and then the half out in the tuck shape. Not a lot of people are doing that period, but to do it and do it that well as she does is awesome. It's getting better and better and better. Like each year, it's just more superb, and it was great last year. And I know she gained a lot of experience competing on floor at regionals and getting that experience too. So she's, as a senior, trying to lead this team, which is great to see that. Well, we did mention some debut routines, and we have mentioned a few of them, and we're going to have a few more when it comes to our lineup, so you can hang on to some of those. So if you don't hear a name, you're, oh, well, she debuted. Just be patient. They're in there. Caitlin Schwab from Central Michigan, absolutely gorgeous bars. Beautiful. She's always had a very nice bar routine. Last year, she came together. Her junior year, she struggled a little bit, but she came back last year to do well at nationals, and then obviously it's just starting off first meet out in Minnesota, 9.725 on bars. Beautiful double layout dismount for her in this meet. Aubrey Guinea, Iowa State, floor 9.8, front tumbler now. Front double full. No more full in. She used to full in out of a round off. She was the one that I always talk about, round off full in. I'm like, this is amazing. She's not fulling anymore.
No, but remember, we figured there was no back tumbling when she started with that standing back handspring. However,
correct.
I absolutely love her floor routine, as I always have. She's always had such fun floor routines. In level 10 in club, her routines were always nominated for Yahtzee awards, and she always just showed off the routine so much. I'm so glad that translated into college, and she has an equally as fun floor routine as she always has.
And I know she had a back issue at the end of her career, and she stopped actually midway through the season or close to the end of the season in last year's JO season or club season because of a back problem. So that makes sense. But 9.8, it was a good routine, very good routine. We already mentioned Reilan Garvey. She went 38.85 in her first competition for Western Michigan, so that's awesome. Katie Duplessis, Dupes from Michigan State, vault, very nice Yurchenko 1.5, a little bit overdone, but very nice vault, 9.8, and then beam, gorgeous beam routine, absolutely beautiful beam routine, triple flight that was perfectly nice, very well done, nice and solid, 9.85 on beam for her.
Yeah, her beam routine, as we mentioned during the live, she takes that triple series right to the end of the beam, and it's just crazy. Like if you lunge a little bit too far, like that foot's off the beam, but she has such great air awareness, and I'm so excited to see her in college in the beam lineup, and of course the vault lineup. I mean, she does a full and a half. That's exquisite. So
correct.
I'm just excited for her, and I think she is going to have success and for years to come. So I just can't wait. I'm glad she made the lineup her first, out the gate.
Yeah, I have a feeling, I just get this feeling we're going to see Katie in all the lineups in and out this year just to kind of feel it out, and I think she's going to definitely be an all-arounder come sophomore year.
I agree.
Wait till you see her. Yeah, wait till you see her bars. If you have not seen her bars, you've not seen her ray, it doesn't come down. It's one of those that just stays upstairs up there in the rafters all the time. And a nice pike full in, too, on floor. So she's got a lot to give still as a freshman. Ellie Monahan. Now, I'm sure you've watched the meet, Kim, and you were probably very disappointed in the fact that the cameras in the Big Ten negative did not show her flight series when she did beam.
I mean, yes, I am disappointed that they didn't show her flight series because it's my favorite, front toss to Corbett. Like, why are you not showing that? Like, hello.
Yeah, I mean, they come over and she's dancing, and I'm like, I don't know where it is. It could be different. It could be the beginning of the routine. She changed the routine in college, and I'm like, she's dismounting.
Well,
okay, guess we don't have a flight series.
We know how Big Ten can be with their cameras.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Yeah, I think they were showing a Penn athlete, which is fine, but you could use the 4 square or 3 square if you need. I mean, I have no issues with 3 square. Some people have issues with doing that, just show one, but then you don't see everything. We're going to talk a little bit about one meet that was like that. I don't know if anyone has existed in the competition, but yes, I was very disappointed we didn't see it. She went 9.775 on the beam routine. She hit the beam routine. So she also did exhibition floor, and Kim, she has a 3-pass routine. We don't see that very often. We have another 3-pass routine that we'll talk about in a little bit too, but she's doing a 3-pass routine, which if you've noticed in week 1, very few 3-pass routines in this country.
In this country.
3-pass routines. Nice. She has changed her first pass. She's now doing front layout Rudy's, which is fine. It's, same bonus, lots of bonus there, and then a nice double back last pass. So it looked nice. And again, exhibition, so that's cool to see her out there in at least 2 events. And it looked like a good routine, so maybe we'll see it actually in the lineup. But the next time we watch Penn State, maybe we would get to see at least flight series. We had a few sophomores add events or compete this year. And Sydney Jellin from Utah State did bars out at Utah this past weekend, 9.75, very typical Maloney pack and double layout for Sydney. Very typical, same routine, as she has done for many years. Very nice, beautiful double layout. Good to see her on 2 events. She also did beam as she did last year. Sophomore Taylor DeFries was on floor this year. She's still on bars. Same routine, same stuff there, but 9.65 on floor. She has made some changes, Kim. I don't know if you caught this routine because I had to catch it on. No. Yes, I had to catch it on a very kind of poor video on YouTube of them filming it, but it looked like they had bad, internet. Cross my fingers that I have good internet this week as I am streaming at the Safari Invite in Wisconsin. But moving forward. 9.65 on floor. She does a 1.5 to a front full first pass now. It's really nice.
Okay.
She used to do triple full.
Yeah, sometimes
get around, sometimes not get around, out of bounds, step out. This is a better choice, and it's worth more. A triple full would only be 2/10. This is 3.
I definitely agree. This is definitely a better option because that triple full was a little scary sometimes. On body parts, like knees. So I'm glad that she has decided to make that change.
Yes, and she now does just a very nice 2.5 as a last pass. So it's a very nice routine. And I'm glad to see Taylor out there in another event this year in her sophomore year. And then Western Michigan sophomore Reese Samuelson got into the lineups this year. We know she came in as a highly talented freshman, had some issues, had some struggles last year as a freshman. Didn't see much action, if at all. I know she was, I think, in like the earlier season meet, but I don't think competed at all during the season at all, even in an exhibition, if I'm not mistaken. But new Jaeger routine, and I talked a little bit about that on the live stream. She's doing a Jaeger versus the Maloney, and it's beautiful, and 9.8 for her on that routine. And then she did beam, which she does the ability to do a triple flight. She did not, but she has the ability to do so. 9.625 did hit her routine. So good to see her out there on 2 events and get to see her competing this year, which is phenomenal. She actually was at Aspire judging, not the level 10 competition. I think she did excel in compulsories and a little bit of the younger optionals, but she was there judging. And the only meet she gets to judge this year because of her schedule. So it was cool that she got home. When she came home, she got to judge. Kai Tanskinen, we're going to talk about her on vault in the lineup because she did compete on vault for Missouri, and then obviously that made our lineup. But she did exhibition on bars and floor, and I was very happy to see that she's still full ins because you see a lot of freshmen take those big skills out, double pike, get the feel, understand the arena, the idea, the cheering, all that, blah, 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 blah. No, she does a full in, and it was gorgeous.
Yeah, she did. It was.
However,
chest up, beautiful.
Yes,
I mean, I'm glad. I was really excited to see Kai in the vault lineup because her vault's great, lots of power. But floor, I always love her floor routines. She always has great performance quality. And I remember, seeing her from her little rubber ducky floor routine days or whatever it was to now. But I want to see her break into that floor lineup, I think, for sure.
Yes, and I think she will.
I
think
agree.
She will. And possibly the bar lineup too. Bar lineup too. She's doing kind of a watered down version of her elite routine, obviously, but she's doing blindfold double tuck on bars, not the half and half out that she does as an elite. But her floor routine, I was going to say, like, it looks like it's like on a stage, like she's taken it from Broadway or she's headed to Broadway. Like literally, it's just one of those like realistically performance routines.
I mean, Kai has always been great at that, showing up. Performing in her routines and making eye contact and making faces and having usually a different kind of floor routine. I couldn't really hear the music that well when I was watching, so I'll have to go back. But I just love watching her on floor. I always have. She's been amazing.
Well, Missouri will be one of the teams that I know the two of us will be watching on a regular basis when it comes to this season because obviously our alums, plus just it's Missouri and they look awesome. This was not a surprise to me, although I think Kim said she's seen it too, just forgot. But we did see a new bar dismount from Delaney Harkness.
We did. So listen, I remember, I think I vaguely saw it on social media, but months ago, and it didn't register. I'm not used to seeing her do a double layout off bars. She does half in, half out, and when she did that double layout and it rocked that landing, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. That is not your bar dismount, but it is so good. I feel like in her 5th year, she's just like, I'm going to learn this and do this. Like, who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Because you can. And she showed that because it was amazing. Very in line with the Delaney Harkness brand of exquisiteness on bars.
But so eight actual debuts of freshmen. We'll get to a couple more, as I mentioned, in a minute in our Region 5 university lineup. A couple others that we did not mention in here. Our D2-3 athlete of the week happens to be D3's athlete Delaney Sinkis from Oshkosh, Wisconsin Oshkosh. Balance beam 9.8. You don't see 9.8s and like the higher scores that often in D3 as we well know, but Delaney does it quite often. Like she does a very nice balance beam routine, very solid flip-flop layout, very nice front aerial. I call her the stick and stay because she did the stick and stay. I don't know if we're going to nominate her or not, but just a really good opening beam routine.
I watched it today and I thought it was superb. Like I mean, it was so good. That could huge routine in MAC conference if she was in a MAC conference, but so good. And I'm glad that they rewarded it accurately with a proper score, not, a D3. What they, what they do. But I'm glad they rewarded the excellentness of the beam routine. So.
Correct. And you will be able to check that routine out on our Instagram, and it will be labeled as the D3 Athlete of the Week. So you'll be able to see that. Check that one out. Congratulations to Delaney, first performance of the year on Beam 9.8. Well, speaking of our Instagram, we do have a couple socials that we hope you follow and subscribe to. Our Region 5 College Salute podcast on Instagram. That's where our podcast is posted, where we post videos like Nikki's Your Chinkle 1.5 has been posted, Emily's aerial layout step out, and of course Delaney's beam routine for the Athlete of the Week. Check that out. That's also where pictures are posted when Kim gets an opportunity to go and film. And I'm sure there's a couple meets this season. Hopefully she'll get to do that because I know she loves doing that and it's good content. So definitely look out for those. She'll let us know when she's going to be doing that because obviously coaching and, commentating takes up time. So Region 5 College Salute on YouTube. This is where we post videos for Alumni Monday. Videos from the Region 5 University lineups. Podcast segments go up here. Weekly routines, as I mentioned, just some extra content. This is where our College Salute Live, at least, is at the moment, or what our first one. You can check that out. Basically, we just talked with Amanda Gruber, and talked about Western Michigan, what we liked about Michigan State, what she remembers, and all kinds of things. It's just a fun sit down. We hope to continue to do it, and hope people start to enjoy it or want to enjoy it. Again, any interest or any comments or any suggestions, we'd love to take that because we'd like to make this something we like to do because it was fun. I enjoyed it. I think Kim enjoyed it, and I know Amanda did. So it's just something we need to do. We need to figure out how to watch and do at the same time because that's kind of awkward. But we'll figure that out. But that is posted on our College Salute on YouTube as well. And then of course Alumni Monday, as I mentioned, where we post about 10 routines for the NCAA season that we necessarily aren't talking about on the podcast because got a lot of alums, as we mentioned on the preview, over 200, and so we have to kind of balance it out each week as best we can. So Alumni Monday, usually posted on Tuesday. It's Alumni Monday on Tuesday, based on how quickly I get routines and whatever. Check that out. We just put a bunch of routines up there. You can watch them, and that's a good way to support the alums as well. So our podcast on Instagram, Region 5 College Salute on Instagram, our College Salute on YouTube, and then of course our Alumni Monday every week, which is posted on our website each and every week. Check those out. Okay, so our new segment called They Did That.
They did.
All right. They did. Some of this is very positive. Some of this is we need to get our act together. Some is just very funny. And this one is very funny. CMU always has something. Is it big silverware last year? We saw the forks, the knives, the spoons. I mean, we just, what was going on there? This year, it's a blow-up alien with a chain.
I love it. I think it's great.
And Jersey, Samantha Shannon, which if you watch, you'll see her as Samantha Shannon because that's her true name, but we know her as Jersey, was walking down the vault runway on the way to floor holding this alien and this chain bouncing up and down. I was like, this is phenomenal. And I'm sure Kim wants to know. We need to be informed by Alina. What is the theme this year?
We need to be informed by anybody. Like,
what is the theme this year? Absolutely.
Okay,
hilarious.
so let's make a few predictions here. Now, aliens with gold chains. I think their theme could be something about like out of this world. Like they're going to be out of this world or something like, something like that. I think the gold chain. They've always had a gold chain. So I think they just threw it around, add a little something extra. But I think that's my guess at what their theme could possibly be, out of this world. Because aliens are from out of this world. I don't know.
Out of this world.
That's my guess.
They choose it because we apparently see flying saucers all the time lately. I mean,
aliens.
What is
aliens
their
don't
thing?
impress us these days.
Aliens around.
Yeah,
apparently not. But that one impressed me because I thought it was
so.
cool.
Anybody from CMU, if you want to share that, you just hit us up on the Insta and let us know.
Let us know what that is, please. And then we can talk about it on the podcast next week. But anyway. But yes, we'll have CMU as one of our lineup choices this week too. So you'll hear some more about some of the CMU ladies in a little bit. Towson, Lauren Green. I think we've talked about this last year. I feel like we have, but it did kind of throw me back at first because I did not remember it. But she does a blind change into immediate endo into a Jaeger, and then a Stalder double back. Awesome
What
routine.
year is she? Because I feel like I have pictures of this routine from the Pitt Regional.
You might. I know she's not a freshman, so you probably
because.
Do. And I feel we've talked about this because I feel like a blind endo is like you don't see that very often, and I know we've mentioned it before. But again, it was one of those things where you don't remember it, and then it hits you, and you're like, "Wow, that was awesome."
Yeah, I feel like she went to the Pitt Regional because I feel like I saw this.
Yeah, no, I think we have, like I said, I think.
Does she do a double layout dismount?
But still, no, she does a Stalder into a double tuck. So she has two circles, or two straddle circles, circling endos. But phenomenal, Lauren. Again, I know we probably spoke about it, but I just want to speak about it again. It's awesome, and it needs more attention, and hopefully more people notice. Maybe if I'll put you on our Instagram, and we'll just call you one of those Region 5. We will just adopt you to Region 5 and call it a day so people can see this because more people need to. It's awesome. It's a great routine, and you don't see that in the NCAA. You don't see endos very often at all. And the fact that you have an endo and a Stalder in one routine, we're gonna have to get that video and share that. So,
Brianna Brooks from Utah State. This is not a they did that. This is she did that because girl can do some beam. Her beam routine. Okay, first of all, she rolls around the beam like nobody's business. However, she goes Corbett right into a backward shoulder roll. Hello, that is like my favorite thing in the world. And any person that I have try a Corbett, I was like, can you shoulder roll? But this is not just a shoulder roll. This is like a fish flopping shoulder roll. This is like straight up in the air and down. It's the most gorgeous thing. And she has two backward shoulder rolls in her beam routine. But the Corbett into the immediate shoulder roll, like, hello, goodbye. Like, yes. Yes.
Yeah, so Kim and I on Friday were testing for the live and just kind of making sure things work and whatever like that. And we were watching this meet, the Utah State meet, and Kim had just put her stuff away and like that, and she goes, "Hold the phone," and she gets her stuff out to write it down. She goes, "That I have to talk about." So that was good.
I mean, because we know my love.
When you stop Kim in her tracks, yes.
Well, I mean, my love of a Corbett on beam, but add a fish flopping shoulder roll right immediately after it. That is like the dream.
100%. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But
and then
more rolls.
Moving into Olivia from MSU, she does a forward shoulder roll that is just exquisite, kind of reminiscent of the 1996 compulsory beam routine and their shoulder roll. I tried it once. I can't do it. But a forward shoulder roll is everything. I just love it. I remember a girl from Oklahoma did a forward shoulder roll beam mount years and years and years and years ago, like when Holly Weiss was on the team. And I absolutely loved that. So yeah, give me a shoulder roll on beam any day of the week, and I am as happy as a clam. Are clams happy?
Clams are happy, apparently, for you.
I guess.
Be clammy.
Speaking of happiness, Brooklyn Moore's floor routine. That is a routine that you cannot talk during. You just need to sit and watch it, not just undistracted, just sit and watch and absorb the excellence, beauty, and dramaticism. Is that a word? The dramatics of it is today. The dramatics of this floor routine. This is not a floor routine. This is a performance of balletic explosion mixed with some beautiful tumbling and eyes. Like, Brooklyn Moores, you are just everything. Everything. And she's the sweetest person on the planet because when I was at UCLA, she talked to me. Emma Malabulio talked to me. They were the most welcoming and kind individuals. She's amazing. I cannot say enough great things about her and her Florida team, because that is a stop and watch routine, let me tell you.
We did need to turn. I did need to turn my head a few times, however, when it came to camera angles this weekend. Because they were just, one, either bad or just kind of how in the heck they did that. What the heck? Let's just talk, first of all, about the injury at Minnesota. It wasn't a bad injury. It ended up not being. She walked off the floor. However, the injury occurred. She landed. It looked like she did. I don't know if it was a full front or a 1.5 front. Her timing was off. Her feet were in front of her. She did one of those things where it looks like she lands on her head, but she did get her head under her as she rolled out. Okay. The cameraman leaves that angle, which is fine, and goes to the angle with the coach that sits next to her, and you can literally see her underwear coming out of her pants. And they stay there for like 10 seconds.
My thing is, with these camera angles, okay, I get it. At some meets, you have to be in a certain place, but like, come on. Like, if you are looking at someone's underwear, tampon, crotch, why can we not switch?
Exactly. And they did switch, like I said. They got out of the injury, but even though you could kind of see the girl laying on the ground, they didn't have her as the focus. No, they had the underwear and the pants butt shot.
Why do we need to sit and focus?
Like,
why do we need to sit and focus on the person laying on the mat anyways? Like, yes, go back to her when she's gotten up and walked away. But I mean,
correct. And walking away.
Does that? I mean, when that coach watches this back, we're going to see her underwear. Like, no coach, nobody wants their underwear on a live broadcast. Let me tell you.
Correct. And it just, I was like, well, there's something else. Show the alien with the chain. Let's just show.
Yeah, move over to the alien with the chain. I mean, at the MSU meet, we saw the girls on their texting on the cell phones or whatever they were doing in the middle of a rotation. Like, let's go see someone get their ankle taped. I don't care, but like.
Right, we could exactly. We tend to at many meets show, like, let's say Simone getting water, but then we'll put that up there forever. Just show Simone.
That's fine. I'd rather see that than somebody's injury or injury being assessed or someone's unmentionables. And I know many of these camera people are not. They don't do gymnastics a lot. Some of them do. Some of them don't.
Right.
But I mean, come on.
Yes. And then some of the angles at Missouri, at Utah, Minnesota, Michigan State, just when they are starting routines or, I know you're in an angle, but if there's another camera, it can get like the start position. I mean, how many crotches we saw, how many finishes, how many pose, butt angles. I mean, it was bad this week. I mean, it really was bad. There were meets that was just bad.
If you're getting a lot of butt, a lot of crotch, because that's where you're standing, if there's not another camera you can immediately switch to, can you move over a little bit or zoom out, even zoom out a little bit, so we're not straight up focusing on that. But
yes,
there's room that they could step to the side maybe. And I understand they have the cords and they're supposed to be in a certain spot, but there is a little leeway with the room there. You can see it. They can.
Right.
Maybe not.
And Kim is experienced, obviously, because
maybe not at Missouri because there was wrestling, but.
Yeah, well, we're getting to that. We're getting to that now, but yeah, no, that Utah was bad. The Utah one was bad. I thought that was one of the worst. I mean, you're there. You're on the floor taking photos. You have to be in a certain spot. Sometimes it's difficult, but as you said, zoom back, or you have multiple cameras most of the time. Apparently, we didn't have very many cameras at Missouri, however. We had a quad meet that had several Region 5 alums that we could have seen, but for some reason, at the quad meet, we had one team and wrestlers. We saw some wrestlers.
I saw a lot of wrestling.
Then we saw a whole arena. Yeah, we saw a whole arena. We saw the quad meet at Missouri. We saw every single performance of Missouri, which was phenomenal and awesome, and we loved it, and it was great. But we saw landings on beam where the feet come down from the beam. You see the feet. That's it. We saw a few times some giants on bars, but you can't tell who they were, and just things from the background sometimes. But we didn't see these routines, and it was just, I was like, why are we streaming a meet for one team? and then watching.
And
wrestling.
I get it. It's at Missouri. It's, you know, they're going to focus on Missouri. However, gymnastics wasn't even on the big screen. And I get why they do these meets. They're like the Beauty and the Beast. And I get why they do them to bring more people to watch both, etc. It's a quad meet. It's not like it was like a dual meet that, like, you know, but this is a quad meet. All these teams competing, and, you know, people want to see people. But I just couldn't do.
Yeah, I would have rather be complaining that we missed the mount or we missed a flight series because, you know, they went from one athlete to the other because they weren't doing a 4-box or whatever like that, than not show a single routine other than Missouri.
Well, I can understand showing all of Missouri, but then when you're done showing all of Missouri, go over and show somebody else.
And show another.
Don't just pull all the way back and, you know. Right. Let us sit there and
on top of the wrestling mat, like literally with the wrestling mat as the main focus, because that's they pulled back to. They didn't pull back on the other side of the arena. The other side of the arena, we might have at least seen bars, you know, or maybe a beam routine or whatever. But no, we saw the floor of the wrestling mat, and that's what we saw. Yeah. So crazy. But you know, cameras did show Lisa Zybert. Did you happen to catch Lisa? All the hype. She's slapping her teammate's arm, like literally just slapping her teammate's arm, all into it. And I swear the teammate was like, not having it. It's like, can you chill at some point? I say no. If you're not going to be in the lineup, you keep going, girl. You just keep doing it. You make your presence known. I was laughing hysterically. Lisa is great. I mean, we've had a lot of moments in terms of cameras where she come up to my camera and like do some funky thing and like that. She's done a lot of them. There's actually in the 2024 highlight video, she's in one of them. She's funny. She cracks me up. But yeah, if you're not in the lineup, girl, you just keep going. You just keep doing that. Don't let them, you know, maybe don't hurt your teammates, but, you know.
She needs to get herself like some pom-poms or like those thunder sticks that clap together. Get some of those, man.
But hopefully you'll be in the lineup soon because her bars are gorgeous. Everything's gorgeous.
She has great form. She needs to be in many lineups. Let's just be real.
Exactly. Well, Kim, we got some waves to the crowd before double layouts. That was Jocelyn Moore. She waved to the crowd and then went and did a double layout. We got dual waves. I don't know if you caught that from Haley Bryant and Aaliyah Finnegan. Like Haley Bryant waves and Aaliyah Finnegan does this little thing with it with her hand. That was hilarious. Kennedy Griffin points to the judge, then to the coach, then tumbles. But let's talk about Kennedy's floor routine. She points to the coach, blasts a double pike into the air, takes a picture, then goes to the rafters on her two polkas. Yeah. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. I mean, she might still be up there. I couldn't really. Okay, but listen, I couldn't really hear her music well because, you know, wrestling things. So I'm assuming it's another Beyonce, a rendition of a Beyonce. You know, she's continuing the Beyonce. So I'm kind of really excited to like go watch it another time or somewhere where I can hear the music, just to see what Beyonce routine she's doing this year because, you know. Yes,
but I think her popas are higher than her double.
Probably.
And her double pike is quite high. So
she got some leaps and jumps, man. She
got some. She's got some ups. She's got some ups.
The hops for sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So Denver, you know, I watched the Denver Michigan meet while riding in the car to the Detroit Lions game. NFC North champions. Woot woot. Madison Rhinebeck vault. Did you see that? Did you catch that? First time,
I did see it, yes.
First time ever competing a 1.5, and she nailed that landing. Stuck, cold, gorgeous. I did
remember they had a couple. Yeah, they had a couple nice.
Yeah, but this one was. I don't
remember hers exactly.
This one was first time competing it. First time, and I believe they said she was at the end of the lineup. Like she wasn't even supposed to be competing. Like they put her in.
No, that wasn't.
I thought it was. Because they made mention of first time competing at 1.5, and then she just like nailed it.
Yeah, I was gonna say something to that, but that's not Madison. That was Riley Mundell because she's like the second best vaulter. She's the second best vaulter for Denver, And then John and Sam say, and she just came into the lineup and look at what she did. I was like, no. She just slid down to the anchor and someone probably replaced whoever didn't vault. Riley was in the vault lineup for Denver last year. and her Yurchenko 1.5 was gorgeous last year. So like that, I mean, he said that, I was like, no. She just slid down to the anchor because the anchor may have been out, something like that. Maybe the anchor was out, so she slid down to the anchor position, and then someone else slid in or whatever. But I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, no, she vaulted last year. This wasn't a replacement.
So maybe she slid down and Madison came in or something. Because they did make mention of this because I thought it was pretty awesome because it was the first time she's competing the 1.5 and she just stuck it cold. Well, speaking of Riley Mundell, we're going to just jump you right now and just continue with this one.
That's fine.
Until
Go right ahead.
But Riley Mundell, beam, she is exquisite. And her beam mount, very cool. She just jumps on the level 4 mount, but then she rolls to her back, does, boop, the split in the air, from the back, on her back, and then just keeps rolling down the beam. I just thought it was very cool. I love a good, not only a good core, but a shoulder roll, but a great side roll, and leaning off the beam is my favorite because I do that also. But especially in the middle of the beam, if you can do it, man, do it. But it was just fun. I just love when the girls have something different, something fun that just kind of catches your eye, especially at the beginning of the routine. So that is what really makes me want to watch the routine a little more, is when they have something a little more eye-catching, at the beginning, or some exquisite form. But I really, really enjoyed her beam mount, and the rest of the routine. Obviously, she's really good. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, she's got good gymnastics all across the board. I mean, she's fun to watch for sure. I'm not sure if this is just a Minnesota thing or if this is kind of something that it happens around the country and I just haven't noticed it, but I know Minnesota does it. The non-competing athlete huddle cracks me up. So when they have the huddle of the athletes who are in the lineup, and then they have their huddle of athletes not in the lineup.
Somebody else does this too. I've seen this before, either from Eastern or MSU, but I feel like I've seen this before, especially on floor. The floor team huddles in the middle, and then the rest of them somewhere else. But I have seen this before. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I caught my eye. I'm like, well, that's weird. I wonder if anyone does that. So I'm gonna have to watch and see if that's a thing now. But it makes me laugh that there's a huddle for people who aren't competing.
They gotta get their cheers and their energy ready.
That's what Lisa. Maybe that's what Missouri needs. Missouri needs Lisa to have a energized moment in a huddle, and then
exactly.
She'll be good. But anyway, Michigan, Gabby and Sierra are very well missed. Let's just say that.
Yeah, they are.
But JZ Ranger, I'm not going to try your first name. Sorry, but JZ Ranger, awesome. I'm looking forward to watching this athlete the rest of this season and the rest of her career at Michigan. Not a Region 5 athlete, but we'll adopt her too. Her vault's gorgeous. Her beam that front toss is Sierra Brooks. The double back is Gabby Wilson. Very nice. Her double layout, holy crap. It's huge. She would have been a huge all-around score had she not missed her raid, which went about 9 miles away off the bar. A little bit too much juice there in their first event, first time competing. But welcome to the Big Ten, JZ. Awesome. Definitely had fun watching. You this season. Your class is very talented, and look forward to seeing what they do over the course of the next couple years. But you impressed me. Very awesome. Gymnastics. Go blue.
I concur, because she is a little bundle of Gabby and Sierra, and I'm excited to watch her for the next 4 years.
Yes.
I'm excited to watch her the rest of the season.
Just a standout, very stood out in that competition.
Exactly.
Completely. Michigan, hopefully they can pull it together, because wow, not the norm, but our alums. JC Vore did a great job. We're going to talk about her in the lineup in a minute. This is not really a new trend, I'm sure. We just found it funny, so I put new trend, at least in week 1, that teams are starting to recruit the whole team from one city. Just one city.
Yes.
We'll recruit everybody. We had a lot of Indianapolis when it came to Utah.
The entire University of Utah is from Indianapolis, Indiana, and the entire Utah State was from Green Acres, Florida.
And they had that same
at
thing.
least for the first two rotations.
Yeah, and they had that same thing at Towson with NC State. Like, they had the same type of thing. That's why I put that in there. If it was just that meet, I'd be like, that was just, an error. No, they had it at Towson and NC State as well. Like, people just not be. I'm like, what the heck?
Well,
I'm sure not all these people are the same thing. Not like it started off, I wouldn't have known because I wouldn't know some of these people are from. But then it's like, they can't all be from the same
I think
city.
if they're putting that they're from Indianapolis, Indiana, we know you're not.
Correct. Then we know not Region 5.
Yeah.
So, but I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was funny that the two meets had that same problem. So,
My other favorite was, did you notice, what meet was it? Denver and Michigan, they have the closed captioning on, and whoever is typing the closed captioning really, really fast or whatever, kept messing up letters and words, but then they would like backspace and try to rewrite them. I don't know if that happened. I don't know if that happened for you, or if it was just like, I don't know, my closed captioning on my phone, but I don't know. They would try to like write a word like there. They wrote there, and they had like some G's at the end, and then an F, and then they backspace and like it was kind of interesting. And I don't know if I noticed it more because I was watching it on a small device on my phone, but yeah,
Right.
they were having a hard time typing things.
yeah, no, I did not see that.
So
Didn't see
okay,
that,
well,
so.
Mila Heinrich, your Hindorf is huge. I just want to say that.
Yes.
I just want to say your Hindorf is huge. You have a huge
I
Hindorf.
agree.
Good job. I enjoyed watching
Very
it.
nice.
Thank
Very
you.
nice. All right. So let's move on to our Region 5 University, which is presented by Full Out Recruiting. Full Out Recruiting, they are focused on helping their clients reach their college gymnastics goals with resources and guidance to athletes, coaches, and parents through the college recruiting process. They go full out to make the experience a fun and productive one. Thank you to Full Out Recruiting for sponsoring the College Salute podcast and your continued support of the Region 5 media platform. And coming up shortly on our socials, you're going to see some content from them about all of their in-gym seminars and lectures and the like. Check those out because they do a phenomenal job talking to parents and athletes and getting you to understand the college recruiting process. So look for that stuff as will be collaborating with that stuff in the near future. So for week 1, we had Ball State, SEMO, ISU at Missouri. So basically Missouri. Though we do have some that made the lineup, we'll just kind of go by what we know because we didn't get stuff except for one I do have. CMU at Minnesota, which we did get to see, and then Denver at Michigan, of course, we did as well. So, vault, leading off the group on vault is Mila Bruce. She got 9.8. Yurchenko full. Kim, I know I missed her Yurchenko full. I don't know if you happened to see it.
I did. It was gorgeous.
I for some reason did
it
not
was
see that.
it was nice and floaty. Great. I believe she stuck her landing as well. It was a very nice vault. Great Yurchenko full.
And then we have Sarah Morrow, 9.775 for a very nice Yurchenko full. Hop back, but a nice height, good shape in the air. Kaya Tanskanen, we've already talked about being in the lineup on vault. A nice cause, hop on the landing, 9.75. Scores were tight in Missouri as well as Minnesota. Ava Wellmeyer, beautiful Yurchenko full, 9.725. Small hop on that. Ava Jordan, another Yurchenko full, a bunch of Yurchenko fulls in this lineup for this week. 9.725 from Michigan. A very, very nice vault. I'm wondering if she's going to be twisting. It seems like she might be thinking about doing a 1.5 by looking, watching, or whatever, but we'll see if that happens. And then that puts us at a 48.775 on vault. Bars leading the way, Ashley Szymanski, 9.875. I'm sure it was a gorgeous routine. I'm sure she was excited. I'm sure she jumped off the bar into someone's arms and knocked someone out. I'm sure she did that. That's what Ashley does. 9.875 for Ashley. Beautiful Ginger. I'm sure double blindfold double back. I'm sure she's stuck. Grace Sumner, 9.85. This was a very nice routine.
Wow, you saw it?
Stuck her dismount. Yeah, she
Oh,
sent
good.
it
I'll
to
have
me.
to look at because I didn't know.
Yes,
I
I'll
didn't
have to
see
send
any
it to
of
you.
the Ball
I forgot.
State
Yes.
because Missouri.
Yes,
things.
they didn't show. Yes. This one I asked for, and she sent it to me, and it was a very nice routine and a great start for Grace. I have it 9.85. Leah Kamichik, 9.825. She's back in the lineup. Excited. I do have this routine as well. It will be up. It's up on our Instagram. Although we did see it because it was on, not our Instagram, sorry, our YouTube. But we did see the meet. Nice double layout, and her reaction got me. I mean, I kind of tug at my heart because she started crying a little bit because she had a torn ACL last year, first dismount, but the reaction was awesome. She stuck it, I think, or close to it, and it was a beautiful double out as well, our usual. So Leah, congratulations, welcome back. Ava Jordan's bar routine was gorgeous.
Yeah, it was.
9825, beautiful Jaeger, nice blindfold double tuck. They had some struggles, so she definitely kind of grounded the team on that, as did JC Vore. She's fifth with a 9.8. Beautiful Tkachev, very nice double out as well. JC is looking great in her senior year, trying to lead that team. I know she's a captain, so that's awesome to see. So 49.175 on bars. So moving forward, Helen Hu leads off beam. I know we saw this routine, 9.8. I said the front aerial, like she's doing forward rolls. She does those so easily. It's ridiculous how easily she does her
It's
front aerial,
literally
front
like
aerial.
Helen Hu never missed a beat. Like, girl stopped doing gymnastics, went and traveled Europe or Asia or something, and then let's do gymnastics again. And it's like she's never stopped. It's gorgeous.
And then I thought of you when I watched this routine. Helen moonwalks backwards all the way down the beam, and I'm like, you know what? This is an Anastasia Webb moment. The dance across the beam.
it.
You know how Anastasia would mount the beam and then just literally dance all the way across.
She didn't dance.
Helen gave me that same idea.
Wait, she didn't dance. She glides across the beam.
Glides. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Yes, glides. But her Helen's moonwalk reminded me of that backwards. And then the scissor jump is probably the best scissor jump in the world. That thing leaves the beam. I could walk under that scissor jump. That scissor jump is enormous. I'm like a scissor jump, but it's 50 miles above the balance beam. But that's Helen Hu, Hopefully Helen gets into bars. I'm sure we'll never see her on anything else again. But definitely I would like to see her on bars. But who knows? Maybe she's decided to do a beam specialist this year and just do beam. So we'll see.
I
But
mean,
we'll take it.
as long as we get to see Helen Hu do something, it doesn't really matter what.
Exactly.
It is.
Welcome back. Rayleigh Jackson back in on the competition floor. She did beam and floor for Missouri. 9.8 on balance beam. Very, very nice triple flight. She does front aerial, back handspring layout, step out, which is nice. The Sisson switch half, it's not new, but I love it. I think it's cool. She's done that in her club career as well. But I just love that combination. She does it well, and a lot of switch halves are hard to do very well. She does it well. The one thing I'm kind of disappointed, no double back. Kim.
Huh.
No double backs. You're round off 1.5, and she did a hop on it. So do the double back. You're gonna hop, just double back.
Right.
It is what it is. But it could be a freshman thing. Get her used to it. That stuff. So she did do floor. And she has dramatic.
That's no excuse, because there's plenty of freshmen who used to do double backs in club and still did double backs in college.
I know.
Maybe there's just something else going on. Maybe she's just wasn't landing them well, or not something. Let's go with that.
Yeah, could be true. So hopefully we'll see it. JC Vore, very nice balance beam routine, 9.775. Remember the last time in competition we saw JC.
I do.
Unfortunately, she did
I was
fall
there
at Michigan. That was a very rough rotation for Michigan. But 9.775, good routine. They did have a fall that she ended up having to go after, two, I think, after. But, she handled her job.
Her straddle jumps on beam are, I just don't even understand. Like, they are so good. So good.
Yes.
She works beam with such confidence. It's so good. I love it.
The 2024 Big Ten balance beam champion comes in fourth in our lineup at a 9.775, and that would be Sarah Mora from.
I thought that routine was a little underscored, personally.
I agree. I do agree. I thought it was a very solid routine, but again, that scoring at Minnesota wasn't high at all. I mean, there are very few 9.8s, let alone 9.9s or higher. But yes, I agree. That routine was very, very nice, very solid, very nice flight series. Sarah does beam very well. She can do 19 skills in a row.
That she can.
9.775. And then Ashley Szymanski, also on beam, 9.775. I'm just good to see that because Ashley sometimes on balance beam can be hot and cold, and definitely starting off the season with a good beam routine. We think. I mean, of course, we didn't see it, but 9.775 to make our lineup at 48.925 for balance beam.
I think if we would have paid attention a little more to the Missouri meet and the zoomed out we probably could have watched them just because, like, especially Ball State. Like, I know how our girls at Ball State,
we know them, right?
Probably could have caught it, but like it was so zoomed out that I didn't even want to like try to look. But we probably could have seen these.
Correct. Yeah, probably. Kennedy Griffin will lead our floor lineup at the 985. We've talked about her routine already. Great, jump height, great tumbling, beautiful routine. Takes the pictures, points to the coaches and the judges. We love it. 985, great routine. Mila Bruch, 985 for her routine on floor. Very nice routine for her.
Surprised she doesn't do full in.
I don't think she's even done a full in in college.
No?
She usually does her like the front double back and the double
that's
pike.
what she did.
Yeah, so I think that's what she has been doing. But no, floor was very, very nice. Good, solid landings. 985 for her. Rayleigh Jackson, 9825. Another routine. Again, good to see her out there. Nice double pike. First pass. Very dramatic walking. She has some very dramatic, walking dance.
Some very dramatic walking dance. She does.
The face is up, though. She's looking out in the audience. Her face is not on the floor, so that's
good.
Very dramatic in that sense. Ava Wilmeyer, 9825, no full in. I was very disappointed, but again,
because you know what,
maybe later in the
her
year.
Double back at the end was so just completely open.
Stuck.
No, but it was so open. Yeah. Like, it's not a double back. It's like a double. Was. I don't know. You know, it was like the most openest double back ever.
No, it was nice. It was gorgeous. But yeah, maybe the full in will come as the season goes on because she's competed it for years. And then she has a 3-pass routine too. So that's kind of, one of those things that's not as, frequent this year, apparently. So she's got 3-pass routine, but no full in. So hopefully we'll see that mid-season, 9825. And then Sarah Wabi, 9825 from Illinois State. She has beautiful routine always. Very nice front twisting. Great to see. I wish I could see that routine because I do enjoy watching Sarah on floor, and always does a great routine. Usually has a good score on floor for Illinois State. 9825 there for a 49.175. And that gives us a grand total for week 1 of 196.05. So not too bad for the scoring this week. We did beat several very big name teams, including Michigan this week. But that currently puts us 7th in the country, and we are behind California and just ahead of Auburn. So that's where we would have ranked if we were a Division I program, not in fantasy. Next week, we have the Sprouts Invitational, which has 3 sessions. Lots of Region 5 alums. Kim, I know you've kind of checked out what teams are going to be at that competition.
Yeah, so on Friday, we're going to see Arizona, Clemson, Michigan, and NC State, which every school in that session does have at least one Region 5 alum. So lots of people to watch in that one, and that's Friday at 9 p.m. in the Eastern Standard Time. Saturday, we have 2 sessions, a 4 p.m. and a 9 p.m. And the 4 p.m. session, we have Cal, LSU, OU, and Utah, which 3 out of the 4 have Region 5 alums, but you want to make sure to watch LSU also because of LSU things. And then in the 9 p.m. session, we have Arkansas, Kentucky, Illinois State, UCLA. Again, 3 out of the 4 have Region 5 alums. However, UCLA, you want to watch them still because of UCLA things. So lots of action, lots of teams to watch.
Bowling Green Eastern is our Sunday night.
Yes.
So we have 4 technical competitions instead of 3 this week, but we couldn't obviously determine a Sprout, so we decided to do all 3.
For those of you who are going to watch Bowling Green Eastern, I'm sorry I will not be there to commentate and grace your ears with my soothing commentating voice, but I will be there the following week, so stay tuned.
She'll be back. But yes, Kim will be out west in Las Vegas, and I will be actually at the Dells filming live streaming their Safari Invite on Saturday. So we'll be back on Wednesday to be able to bring you the highlights from week 2. Our MVP this year, we're changing it up a little bit. We're going to do MVP of the week, and then we're going to do our best college stick and stay. MVP, Kim, who's your MVP?
How about you go first? Age before beauty.
Age before beauty. Okay, well, we're getting up in age. I have no hair, so we know I'm getting old. Mine is Reilan Garvey. And I say Reilan Garvey because coming out, doing the all-around first meet of your college career and doing a dang good job. Power to you, girl. Reilan Garvey, you're my MVP of week 1 in the NCAA.
So my week 1 MVP, because I have trouble making lists, but I got this one person. I understand the assignment. Mine is Nikki Smith, because she just, I mean, I know she's around. She's not like a freshman or a debut, but I was very impressed with Nikki Smithing this week in week 1, because she just is on fire. And I'm so excited for her. Plus, as you mentioned, her interview skills are on point. Oh, yeah. This, in her sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
So Nikki Smith, you are my MVP for this week for, doing Nikki Smith things, Nikki Smithing.
Nikki and Reilan, you are our MVPs of week 1. And then our last award is our best college stick and stay. Of course, we have our college salute. We have to do that because it's the name of our podcast, but we don't really have the college salute anymore for the most part. So last year we decided to stay as the college stick and stay. And Kim, who is our stick and stay?
Well, I think we should really call it the stick, stay, and slay for this week, because Sage Kellerman from MSU and Katie Harper from NC State, let me tell you, they did not only just stick and stay in their routines. Sage dabbed and firepowered, and then Katie had a little shimmy in the shoulders. So those are my two. They not only stayed, but they also slayed with a little extra, finesse at the end. A little extra finesse at the end of their sticks.
Love it. Absolutely love it. It was great. So, yep, stick and stay and slay in week 1. Congratulations, Sage and Katie Harper.
So we know you enjoy our podcast. I mean, why would you not? Yes, I want more people to find out how awesome it is so they can enjoy it too. So please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to the Region 5 Insider Podcast. Thanks again to Full Out Recruiting for your continued support, as well as all of our listeners. We could not do this without your support. Follow us on all of our social media accounts for the most up-to-date information on what's going on with our R5 alums all season long.
Thanks again for joining us for NCAA Week 1 recap. We are glad to be back talking college gymnastics and getting to watch our alums every weekend. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our IG page to keep the support for our alums going all season long. Remember, we want some feedback about how we can make the College Salute Live content worth watching and enjoying. Also, we look forward to bringing you more spine-breaking coverage of our Region 5 alums. Talk to you next week. Follow, like, and subscribe. Peace out, Region 5.
5.